Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to our program. My name is Mohammed.
My name is Hussain.
I'd like to start off by congratulating everyone on the start of the holy month of Ramadan. As we know, the month of Ramadan is a very holy month. It's when people are required to fast. There's obviously many benefits in this month. For example, reading one ayah of Quran in this month, as we know, it counts as reading one verse of Quran counts as reading a whole Quran in other months. So definitely there's a lot of holy things in this month. I'm going to say an extract from the sermon of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ about the month of Ramadan and about sharing in the month of Ramadan. He said, Ramadan is the best of months. In this month, we are the guest of Allah. It's also recommended to help the poor in this month and honor those who are old. Be kind to those who are little. Remember all of your relatives. Guard your tongue. Be kind to orphans. Do tawbah for your sins. Pray a lot and do a lot of sajda. So, Brother Hussain, out of those things I mentioned, how many things do you think that you should try to do in this month?
At least half of them.
Like, for example?
On my time on stage, though. Actually, you should do all of them. I mean, like they're all.
It's also It's also recommended in this month to extend your sajda. If in any other month, when you do sajda, you do it quickly. This month, it's required to take an extended period of time to doing your sajda. Another thing is pray a lot and do a lot of sajdas, like I just mentioned. Share iftar, even if it's a drink of water. Brother saying, what does it mean by share iftar, even if it's a drink of water?
If you give someone that's fasting, give them a glass of water to break their fast.
And do you know if there's any other thing recommended to break your fast with during this month?
A date?
Yes, that's correct. Like Brother Syed mentioned, we mentioned in earlier shows this about dates. It's recommended to, of course, when someone's breaking their fast, to break your fast with a date or with water. Brother Syed, is there anything that maybe you shouldn't break your fast with?
Coke, because if you have because your kidneys...
Or sodas.
Sodas. Because if your kidneys are dehydrated, then if you have Coke, or sodas, it's bad for your kidneys.
It's also not good to break your fast with cold water. So if you're breaking your fast, you should try to have just regular water. Try not to have cold water.
Not just cold water, just try not to have a cold beverage or drink to break your fast. Yeah, like water.
And so like Prophet Muhammad said, we should try to make sure to give somebody water or a date to break their fast, because the person who gives someone and helps them break their fast, they get a lot of sawab. So another thing to do is have good akhlaq. It's you have to have good akhlaq in this month, because of course we're fasting. So it's very good to have good akhlaq. Like I mentioned at the start of the show, reciting one verse of the Quran is equal to reciting a whole Quran in other months. So of course we see how much more sawab we get. So we should try to read a lot of Quran in this month.
Even if you read 2 pages, 2 Qurans, so it's a lot.
No, that's more than 2 Qurans. Isn't it one verse is one Quran?
Yes.
So verses. Oh, I thought you said 2 pages. So yeah, 2 verses. That would be 2 whole Qurans. So we should try to read as much Quran as we can. The doors of Jannah are open. Ask Allah to keep the doors open. So the doors of paradise are open in this month. So like I mentioned, even when you breathe, it's considered doing tasbih. So that's how we're the guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month. We should try to do as much as we can. Also, the doors of Jahannam are closed. Ask Allah to keep those doors closed. Shaitan is actually locked away in this month. So there's more possibility to do good deeds, and of course the shaitans. Yes.
Less possibilities of bad deeds because shaitan is locked away.
Yeah. The best deed in this month is to keep away from that which Allah has forbidden, or which is haram. So, obviously stuff like eating haram, or, stuff like that, we should try to stay away from in this month. It was also said that if it's better to stay away from bad deeds than to do good deeds. Because if you keep doing sin, then it'll take down, obviously, your good deeds. So it's better to stay away from haram altogether, obviously, and then you will be able to do more good deeds. So we're going to now be asking you questions about the month of Ramzan, and you can call in and answer it if you want. The month of Ramzan is the best of months. In this month, we are the blank of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no multiple choice for this question. If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So, Brother Hussain, can you tell us about, like I mentioned earlier, about inviting people over to your house? Isn't that, it's a very good thing to do, like invite people, and like I mentioned, breaking iftar.
If they you make them something, and then if they eat it, you still get a lot of sawab for helping them break their fast.
Yeah, so of course you get a lot of sawab for helping someone break their fast, like Brother Hussain said. Prophet Muhammad said, "O people, one who gives iftar to a fasting person during this month will be like one who has freed a slave, and his or her past sins will be forgiven." So you see how great that is, that if you feed a person who's fasting, you break their fast, it's like the sawab of freeing a slave. Obviously, nowadays there's not really slaves. Well, there aren't slaves. So
because of Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, so the other way to do that is to help someone break their fast with, like we mentioned, dates, or it's good to break your fast with water. Isn't that incredible, Brother Hussain? Even as little as water, you still get the sawab. So obviously you don't have to give them a bunch of food or something. Just make sure that you give someone a small date or some water, and you get the sawab.
It's not like he gives just a little sawab. It's a lot of sawab for helping someone break their fast with water, or like a date, or just anything. But make sure to have break it with water or date, because those are better instead of So break it with
and
water.
like we mentioned, cold drinks, try to stay away from cold water, or obviously cold soda, because that's not good. After a whole day of not eating, obviously it's not good for your body. I'm going to repeat the question. The month of Ramzan is the best of months. In this month, we are the blank of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, Brother Hussain, like we mentioned about fasting. So, can you tell us how fasting starts? How does it start?
You do sahri.
Yes, sahri.
Yes, you wake up for sahri, and then once fajr comes, then you can't eat until iftar.
Yeah, and obviously, sahri, you can have it at night if you want, but obviously the best time to have it is in the morning, but before fajr. So obviously you can eat right before then, and you won't go to sleep and feel hungry, because of course you have to read your namaz anyway. It's also very good to obviously it's always good to read your namaz on time, but especially in this month, because when you during that namaz time, that's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He answers, higher chance of answering your prayer. So if you want your prayers answered, make sure to read your namaz on time and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And at fajr is the at the time that Allah.
We have a caller?
Mostly answers. Oh no. I accidentally.
You had to click the other button.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Owen. I'm talking from California.
And would you like to answer the question?
Yes.
The question is, the month of Ramzan is the best of months. In this month, we are the blank of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes.
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala
Muhammad
Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa jfajr. Thank you for
calling.
calling.
Have a nice day.
Khulafis, have a nice day. Yes, that is correct. The month of Ramzan is the best of months. In this month, we are the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brother Hussain, could you ask our next question?
Yes. On which night in the month of Ramzan of the what?
It was the Quran revealed.
It was the Quran revealed.
In which night in the month of Ramzan was the Quran revealed? If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. As we know on this day, well, that would be giving away the question, so Prophet Muhammad has said, when Allah wishes to do good to a family, He sends them a gift. That gift is a guest who brings his or her sustenance with him/her and carries away with him or her the sins of the family. A guest is a guide who leads one to the path of Jannah. There's a story. A father and son were once the guest of Imam Ali, peace be upon him. Imam made them comfortable and sat opposite them talking to them. It was time for the meal to be served. After food had been served and eaten, Imam's servant Gumbar brought in a basin and a jug of water for the guests to wash their hands. Imam took the jug himself and asked the father to extend his hands so he could pour the water. The guest said, "How can it be that my Imam serves me? It should be the other way." Imam, peace be upon him, replied, "Here is your brother in Islam, eager to serve his brother and earn the pleasure of Allah. Why do you prevent it?" The guest extended his hand. Imam told him, "Wash your hands thoroughly. Do not hurry thinking that I should free of this duty." So that was part of the story. So as I was saying, the story was that a man came to Imam Ali alayhi salam's house, and of course he was the guest at the house. So after they'd eaten, Imam Ali alayhi salam wanted to wash the guest's hands because of course he was the guest. And the man, he was, like, why is the Imam trying to wash my hands? I should be, washing his hands. And he said, why would you try to, take away the...
Why would you try to prevent it? Yes.
Yes, because of all the sawab that's been...
Yeah, so why should you try to stop it?
Yeah. When it was the son's turn to wash his hands, Imam told his son, Muhammad Hanafiya, to hold the jug and wash the son's hands. The Imam then told him, "I wash your father's hands, my son washed your hands. If your father had not been my guest today, I would have washed your hands myself." But Allah loves to see when a father and son are present in a place. The father enjoys a privilege and priority. It is easy to share when we feel there's this abundance by many of us and find it hard to do so when there is little to go around. A Muslim, however, rises beyond this. So, Brother Hussain, can you repeat the question?
On which night in the month of Ramzan was the Quran revealed? There's no multiple choice. So. If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is
925-523-3766. The Prophet Muhammad said that there are 5 acts which bring the blessings of Allah on a person. The first act is greeting each other with Assalamu alaikum. The initiation of a salam is mustahab, yet carries more sawab than the reply of the salam. So, Brother Hussain, so what does this mean? What is an example of this?
It's good to it's better to try to say salam first, like salam.
Yes, because the first person who says Assalamu alaikum, the other person's reply, the first person gets 99% of the sawab, and the person who replies gets 1%. So of course we want to get most of the sawab. So whenever you see someone, always make sure to say Assalamu alaikum.
So don't like make them say it. So you try to say it first.
Yeah, it's very important. The second act is reciting azan loudly at home before every salat. The Prophet has said that voices of those who recite azan loudly are carried to the heavens, and the angels in the heavens stop to listen. So during the azan of every, obviously the morning, the afternoon, the night, we should always try to read the azan. It's very important to read the azan
Before you read your namaz.
and of course try to read namaz on time. No matter what you're doing, if you're able, obviously there's situations you're not able to read your namaz on time.
If you're traveling, you're like,
Yeah, but if you're able to do it, obviously you should. For example, if there's, you're doing something at a park or something and there's some grass nearby, you should obviously do that because
try to do it, like strive to do it,
yeah, it's very important to read your namaz on time. The third thing is keeping clean and being tahir all the time. It is said that on the day of Qiyamah, Jahannam will reject people who are sent to it simply because they were clean and tahir in the world. So obviously, we should always try to stay clean. It's obviously a very important thing. Brother Hussain, can you repeat the question?
On what night in the month of Ramzan was the Quran revealed?
If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. Another thing is reciting the Quran every day. Reciting the Quran every day increases one's memory and intelligence. Try to recite just 10 ayah after salah loudly. So it's very important to read Quran. Obviously, especially, we have a caller.
Assalamu alaikum. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Emily. I'm calling from California.
And would you like to answer our question?
Yes.
The question is, on which night in the month of Ramzan was the Quran revealed?
Is there multiple choice?
No, there's no multiple choice.
Repeat question.
Yes.
On
was
what
saying?
night in the month of Ramzan was the Quran revealed?
The 14th.
What?
What is a night called? That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Thank you for calling.
Khulaf Hafiz. Have a nice day.
Khulaf Hafiz, have a nice day. So yes, that is correct. The answer is Laylatul Qadr is the night that the Quran was revealed. Obviously on that night it's very recommended to stay up all night and, read the waz and stuff.
Read prayers.
Yeah, usually people are at the masjid and you stay there all night. And
There's a lot, like prayers, dua, Quran maybe.
Yep, there's Joshani Kabir, there's a bunch of stuff people do. Our next question is, what has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Muslims to do in the month of Ramzan? So what are Muslims required to do in the month of Ramzan? We went over this many times. So like I mentioned, Laylatul Qadr, you stay up all night and, just praying and everything, because that's the night that the Holy Quran was revealed. And speaking of the Quran, like I mentioned, Prophet Muhammad said, reading the Quran every day increases your memory and your intelligence. So it's very important to read the Quran every day. Obviously good time is after namaz, and especially in the month of Ramzan, because for every verse, it's the same sawab as one whole Quran in the other months. So obviously there's 30 paras in a Quran. So of course, if you read it in the month of Ramzan, just one verse is for a whole para.
And it's a good time if you read it after Fajr.
And it's also good to, like I mentioned, asking for forgiveness in this month. That's another very recommended thing.
And after Fajr is when your prayers mostly get answered. Allah answers your prayers.
The next thing is inviting a guest to share meals. It is said that Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, never ate alone. He would wait in the streets, inviting people to come home and share his meals with him. Let us take the opportunity in the month of Ramadan, of course, to, if we can, invite people, or eating at the masjid. That counts as well. And like we mentioned, trying to give someone a date or some water to help them break their fast. So obviously you gain a lot of sawab in this month. I'll repeat the question. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Muslims to do in this month? If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So, like Brother Hussain mentioned earlier, when you're fasting, you start in the morning with sahri. Obviously, you can have it before.
But sahri's before Fajr is the best time, because so you have more food in your system. If you have it at night, it's still good, but if you stay up or something.
We have a caller.
After Fajr. Assalamu alaikum. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Ellie and I'm calling from California.
And would you like to answer the question?
Yes.
Brother Syed.
The question is, what has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Muslims to do in this month?
Fast.
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa jfajm. Thanks for calling. Allah Hafiz, have a nice day. Yes, that is correct. That took a little long. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded Muslims to fast in this month. Brother Hussain?
Are you fasting, Brother Syed?
Yes. Are you fasting, Brother Hussain?
Yes.
Yes. I'm starving.
So am I.
As people typically are.
Which
So, Brother
holy book was revealed in the month of Ramadan?
If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So,
This is kind of the easiest question, so somebody call.
So like I mentioned, like Brother Hussain said, it starts in the morning with having sehri. It's better to have it, before, a little bit before, before Brother Hussain, you want to mention?
Before Fajr?
Yes, and then what happens after that?
Then once it's Fajr, stop eating. Then you gotta wait until Maghrib until you can eat, which is iftar.
So, there's many strategies that you can do in order to, make it easier. What's your strategy, Brother Hussain?
One of them is sleep. If you stay up until after Fajr.
And then, of
read
course,
Quran
if
and
you have to go
everything.
to school, yes, so
Yeah. Then you sleep the rest of the day.
that is an interesting strategy.
Assalamu alaikum. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Could you speak up, Brother Ellie?
My name's, I'd like to answer the question.
Brother Hussain?
Which holy book was revealed in the month of Ramadan? Ramzan.
The Quran.
Yes, the holy.
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa jfajm. Thanks for calling.
Have a nice day.
Allah Hafiz, have a nice day.
Beep.
Yes. Yes, that is correct. The holy book that was revealed in the month of Ramzan is the Holy Quran. As we mentioned, this was on the night of Laylatul Qadr. And our last question of the day is what is the best deed in this month? So what is the best deed one can do in the month of Ramzan? So like we were mentioning about fasting, another strategy to do is in the morning, during the time of Sahri, you could either, you have to have the things that you're missing. Obviously, drinking a lot of water is very good because obviously during the day your body loses a lot of water and you're severely thirsty, so you should try to drink a lot of water. Another strategy is stuffing yourself in the morning, but that's not recommended.
At Sahri, if you become full, then you won't want to eat until iftar.
Yes.
Helps.
So that was the strategy I used today. It didn't work. But you should still, obviously try to.
It's working for me.
A lot of water, like I mentioned, that's severely important.
If you have at least 2 big glasses of water.
Water bottles, 2 water
bottles.
bottles, or, 3 glasses of water.
You have to keep yourself hydrated, so have a lot of water, drinks. Yeah, make sure to have a lot of water.
Yes.
And
So-
a little Coke.
So like I mentioned, fasting. What you have to do while you're fasting is keep your tongue from lying. There's things that can, Brother Hussain, break your fast. It's not just I wake up, and of course, we have a caller. Assalamu alaikum. What's your name and where are you calling from?
What can you, Brother Ali? Can you speak louder?
My name is Ellie. I'm calling from California.
That's better.
And would you like to answer our question?
Yes.
What is the best deed to perform in the holy month of Ramzan? Staying away from forbidden deeds, reading Quran, or fasting.
A.
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa Thanks
Thank
for
you,
calling.
Allah
Hafiz, have a nice day. Well, that is all the questions left for today. I'm just going to finish by saying the things that we stay away from while you're fasting. Because Brother Hussain, obviously, it's one thing to, you got to wake up, make your niyat, but there's things you have to stay away from as well. Like I mentioned, keeping your tongue from lying.
Murder.
So obviously, don't lie. Murder is one of the, of course. Not being jealous, not backbiting or gossiping. Well, these are things on a normal day, but on a normal day, you probably won't be fasting. So if you do these could break your fasting.
Gossiping is like the same thing as lying.
The things that also break your fast are eating intentionally. This is obviously the number one, that if you eat intentionally, there's a difference between eating intentionally and eating by accident, Brother Hussain.
If you forgot that you were fasting and then you eat something, then
you still get it counts as you never ate anything. It's because it was an accident, you forgot.
if you finish chewing the food, you keep it.
Yes,
And
if you already ate it and then you're like, oh, I'm fasting today, then
But if
you
you
still.
you realize when it's in your mouth, then you just have to spit it out.
Vomiting intentionally. Obviously, if you're throwing up, if you're sick, obviously don't fast.
How can you vomit?
Well, if you're sick and you're throwing up, don't fast. Letting dust or smoke enter your throat. So
Smoking.
Obviously, dust can't enter your throat either.
Don't-
Lying about Allah and the Masumin. Well, I mean,
A lot of those guys that made fun of Prophet Muhammad, so
yes, like during the time of Prophet Muhammad, there's obviously a lot of people going around lying about Prophet Muhammad and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those people, their fast did not count. Not arguing. Stay away from arguing in this month. Not swearing oaths, even if they are true.
well,
So, don't swear oaths. Like, don't do it.
I'm smart.
Like, if you say, I swear this is blue, like, don't do that. I didn't say that, but don't. That's what I mean. Not quarreling with one another. Not fighting, similar to not arguing with other people, not to abuse.
Don't get in a fist fight.
Abuse, so I guess don't get in a fist fight. Not being mean or miserly. Don't be mean to people. Obviously, don't bully someone. You do that on a regular day. Don't do it. Not being unjust or unfair. You know, cheating someone. Don't cheat people. These are things on a normal day, but on a normal day, you probably won't be fasting. So these are things that could actually break your fast. Keeping your eyes away from that which is not allowed to look at.
Don't be a big
obviously,
bad, and don't be a big bad bully in school.
Yes, of course.
Otherwise, you're gonna get expelled.
So obviously, another thing is taqwa. We should, in this holy month of Ramzan, we should do as many good deeds as possible. We should do a lot of things that, you know, because we get extra deeds. So that is all the time we have left for today. Thanks for everyone who called and participated in our program. Now we're going to do Allahumma kulli walika for the people in the world starving and in need. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa sallam. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma kulli waliyaka al-hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala abai fi hadhihi as-sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Once again, thank you for everyone who called and participated in our program. Please join us next time on another exciting episode of Velayat Kids. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Khudafis. Happy Ramzan.